most of the human life in our galaxy originated in Lyra. But it was brought to Lyra from other star systems, from other galaxies rather. Okay? Human life did not originate in this galaxy. It came from other places. And it's believed that a group of very advanced beings known as the Founders, aka the Patal, were the ones to help seed the universe with different life forms. And that would be all life forms. Now, from what I have been told, and this information, isn't new. I've shared it, 25 years now. They came across the Lyran star system, and they were very intrigued, the Reptilians, with the star system and the life that was there. So what they did was, there was an attempted contact, and because of the difference in the way they looked and the difference with the way they handled themselves, the difference with their ships as such, there was a misunderstanding. The Lyrans interpreted the first contact as a threat, and they reacted as such. The reptilian races, however, did not make matters better at all either. Being an aggressive war race, instead of taking some steps back, they overreacted themselves and actually began attacking the outer planets and moons that had small colonies on them first. And then what they did was they waited to see what kind of a reaction they would get from the larger planets. In other words, they were testing the defenses of the Lyrans. For the most part, the Lyrans themselves didn't have defenses. They didn't think they ever needed it. Excuse me. They hadn't been threatened before. Excuse me. Other than, maybe rogue asteroids or comets or meteor showers, things of that nature, which are fairly common throughout the galaxy. And when they didn't get a response, the Reptilians, the Draconians didn't get a response, a military response, they became more and more emboldened. But they were still very careful, but they did a systematic attack. At the same time, the Lyrans realized that they were in serious trouble, and what they began to do was to build arcs. And they had many ships at the time, but they're not ships that we would understand as today. What they did was they had used moons and very large asteroids. They would hollow them out, and they would build the craft on the inside because they didn't have the raw materials to build the metal shielding and housing. So they would use, what was available. And they began to migrate as the attacks became more and more systematic and began to come in deeper into the Lyran system. They decided that we needed to get out, and they got out as many as they could, which is literally forced the migration and the eventual population of parts of the galaxy with human life. It literally forced the issue. So whether that was on purpose or not remains to be seen, but something extremely positive came out of it. And many of the different races that we have today, human races of different color, of different genetic makeup, is in fact the result of that conflict in the Lyran system.
Alex, this is Tolek. How long ago was this? We're talking millions, as we would calculate time, millions of years?
Yeah, in Earth years, we're probably talking about 630 million years is when it first started.
Wow.
Yeah, long time ago. But that's in Earth years. That's how it's been explained to me for that whole conflict. And there has been this attitude regarding humans ever since. A disdain, a disrespect that we're weak, that we're not strong, that we are a weaker race, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, all of that is a fallacy. But it's just a mindset, you know. It's just a mindset. So they have a lot of the same issues we do.
I see. I very much agree with this. And what I'm discovering is that all of these races have a trauma that informs their behavior. That then they go out and then they express that trauma onto others. And to, like some, you know, I was looking at the Lyran trauma, and now I'm looking at the other perspective of the reptilians, and why were they such badass? And their feeling of being abandoned. Here, yeah, so you were saying.
They were brought here from somewhere else, and it could be that the history of their archetype, which we don't know, or I certainly don't know, the A's don't exactly know their entire history, where they came from, but that's probably what happens. Maybe they were brought here to be given a chance to heal, and it just didn't happen. I don't know. But there was a lot of projection of whatever happened before, they projected on everyone here.